power. So Buratai the Bucher, that became the chief of army staff, was sacked yesterday, ingloriously, and he was replaced by another person. That man that you are currently seeing his face when you are joining this broadcast. I'm talking about this guy. His name is something Atairu. Well, let me bring his name up so that you can see him. They call him Atairu, right? Let me see if I can get that off as well. It's called Atairu. So he's going to be the new, well, he is the new chief of army staff. That is the man replacing Buratai the Bucher. So he is not a new guy. That's the point I'm about to make. He is not a new guy. He's been at the center of it all along. He's been part of the team that have been battling the Boko Haram in northwest of northern Nigeria. So in fact, his own story is this. When they started Operation Lafia Dole, and they also started this Operation Safe Corridor. Operation Lafia Dole is the name tagged the soldiers who are fighting Boko Haram in the northeast, Borno, Yobe, all those areas. Yeah, it is also the same army that put in place what they called Operation Safe Corridor. Safe Corridor is that if you are arrested as a terrorist and you you tell them that you have repented, so they will rehabilitate you, they will pay you money, and they will release you back into the wild. So it's the same Buratai and his team. So this operation was going on and going on. More and more soldiers were being killed, kidnapped. More Nigerian barracks have been ransacked, taken over by terrorists. Guns. Whenever Nigeria takes delivery of new weapons, 2 days after that, Boko Haram, or now that they have bandits, when they first started, there was no bandits. They were all Boko Haram. This guy is the chairman, the leader of those who are the commander of Lafia Dole in Borno State. Rather than end Boko Haram, they now found out that the guy, because, well, Buratai the Bucher, their leader, came in, and within just a year, he bought 2 houses for his wife, for his 2 wives in Dubai, multi-million dollars properties. So they are those who are commanding those, they're in charge of those who will pay the soldiers and the rest of that. So they just turned it to business. And because they've turned Boko Haram fight to business, so they recorded more casualties under Boko Haram. Even Buratai the Bucher, that killer, got so tired of this guy, he sacked him from being the commander, because that's the power of that chief of army staff. Okay, so chief of army staff is the one that see and give command on all the operations of Nigerian army, and everybody obeys him. Meanwhile, chief of defense staff is a ceremonial role created by Babangida in order, the story, Shabo, to cut down the influence of the person that was supposed to be the chief of army staff back then. And they created this fake chief of defense staff who will only see day-to-day payment of salaries, operations, no command. Nobody obeys any command from any chief of defense staff, chief of army. That's why Buratai the Bucher is the most powerful in Boko Haram's government. Everybody fears him. So this guy got sacked for turning Boko Haram fight to business. And what is the result? More IDP camps were created instead of closing up the ones they met. You remember they came to power because they wanted to fight insecurity. They wanted to defeat Boko Haram. They wanted to return all those people, refugees of Boko Haram. They want them to return to their villages. You remember that was what they won election on. That was why Boko Haram came, Abi? Right. So 5 years after that, there are more refugee camps in Nigeria now times 10 of what they met when they came in 2015, because the guys turned the whole thing to business. Right? Another thing is that the weapons meant for the Nigerian soldiers are now finding their ways into the arms of Fulani bandits. True life story. So whenever Nigerian soldiers are complaining of poor equipment, inadequate ammunition and all of that, you realize Boko Haram are outgunning them, outmanning them and all of that. And most of the time when they now arrest, or when people arrest these new bandits, the guns they are holding, they belong to federal government of Nigeria. True life story. Now, under these guys in 5 years, okay? So Boko Haram did not die. Rather, Boko Haram now diversified. Okay? You now have Boko Haram in Fulani terrorists, killing people, like killing thousands of people in 5 years. They were not there 5 years ago. Yes, they were not. There were no bandits kidnapping people. There were no Fulani terrorists carrying AK-47 before 2015, before these guys came in. It was because they managed to turn the whole thing into business. And part of the business was to resell or allow terrorists to break into the armory of Nigerian military, cut away all the weapons, their vehicles, their operational vehicles, their APC, armored personnel carriers, weapons bought with Nigerian money. Under these guys, Boko Haram were swabbing in, moving away the weapons. And before you know it, these weapons are now finding their ways into the hands of, they are all Boko Haram, yeah? But these weapons are now finding their ways into the hands of bandits in Benue, in Enugu, in Ebonyi, in Abia, in Ondo, in Ekiti, Ogun, Oyo, Osun. You begin to see the Fulani bandits carrying AK-47. If you hold them very well, you will see that the guns belong to federal government of Nigeria. But there was nowhere that Nigerian government gave them the gun. And there is no time that Nigerian government ever. I am asking you this now, if you are paying attention to this step by step, that change of these faces is not a change of anything. Okay, you see all these cries, all these agitations, all these campaigns, all these frustrations that everybody is, expressing on social media and online and offline because of what Nigeria is and their fear of what Nigeria will be if nothing is done now. How that to let you know that all those things are not going to go away. Boko Haram are still going to continue to kill people because it is the same actors, the same people. In fact, maybe we can now say, even in the hand of the worst of them all, Buratai the Bucher, that we are going to, by the grace of God, start international arrest warrant on, by the grace of God. This 2021, many of those actors who have now been sacked by Bukwari, they can no longer be protected by the immunity of federal government anymore, other than the immunity of being Fulanis. Do you get that now? But international arrest warrant means even when me and you, when we are not watching them, when me and you, we don't know what they are doing, the rest of the eyes of the Interpol will be watching them. The eyes of the Big Brother will be watching them. So that is why we need to begin the process of international arrest warrants for all the crime against humanity, killings, the genocide perpetrated by Buratai. But the story is not over. Buratai the Bucher is only out somebody that is worse than him. So you can then imagine. Are you saying, Maiyegun, are you saying it's going to be worse than this? Well, just relax. I'll get there. So this guy was sacked as Buratai the Bucher was brutal. And the security situation in Nigeria collapsed completely. Okay? Don't buy the story that some people are trying to telling you that the problem of Nigeria didn't start today. Oh, we know. People have been trying to cover it all this while, covering open wound. But Bokwari came and removed the bandage, removed everything, can't take digger, can't dig the open wound. Now everybody knows that it's even worse than everybody knew. It's worse than that. Buratai the Butcher, the worst. You're about to see the worst in this guy. So Buratai the Butcher sacked this guy. That, your own even worse. So he was sacked. It was withdrawn from the Lafia Dole. They replaced him with somebody else. And I don't know what happened, because Yorubas are now saying it's like Boko Haram is supporting Fulani terrorists. It is not even it's like anymore. It is now obvious that Boko Haram APC, they are supporting Fulani terrorists, whether you are APC Yoruba, APC Igbo, APC Fulani, APC Hausa, it doesn't really matter. They all support Fulani terrorists in every part of Nigeria. Now that it is obvious, they are now trying to play some manky-panky, play some abracadabra game, which won't really fly, especially for those who actually knows the template or the pattern of all their games. So the plan there is that Buratai the Butcher and his gang of service chiefs who are keeping the secrets of whoever is now in that asshole rock, Boko Haram, and protecting the regime instead of protecting Nigeria, right? Somehow they managed to cut a deal. Buratai the Butcher and the rest of them were not just sacked, apart from the fact that they have overstayed their years in service, in office, that Boko Haram extended that many times, yeah? They didn't just bow out. They gave each of them 8 choice SUV cars, 8 cars, and choice properties in 3 different cities in Nigeria, their own choice cities. They should choose. If they wanted their own palace, like politicians are giving pension to former governor, former deputy governors in different states, what they gave to the Buratai the Butcher before they bow out, because they were able to hold Nigeria by force, strong arm, to resist and stop every Nigerian that will ever take up any challenge against the regime, no matter how inhumane it is. So their loyalty was for Boko Haram and the regime. It isn't for Nigeria. So they paid them handsomely to bow out. But surprisingly, we don't know how they played it. And Boko Haram prefer all these guys who call themselves presidency, they prefer to put the worst incompetent to replace the worst incompetent, so that the cycle remains the same and your complaints remain the same. But here we go. We as Yorubas, it doesn't matter what they try to turn this into anytime soon. It means that the story, the game is the same. That's the Sefene in Sunday Igbo's language, or in Sunday Igbo's words. Sefene. They have only changed guard, but they have not changed pattern. They have not changed mission. Mission remains the same. Okay, the advancement of Fulani terrorists into every part of Nigeria, and any governor who stands against that risk losing that comfort or perk of power he currently enjoys that I believe he has. But let me tell you this. This is for the record. And that doesn't mean that I don't have friends, or let me say I don't have fans who are Fulanis, who are probably just like what I'm doing too. But let me tell you this, until 1793, there was nobody, there was nothing like Fulani in any part of any land or every land that make up this Nigeria. Let me say that again. Until 1793, there was nowhere, nothing called Fulani tribe, Fulani race, Fulani land, or anywhere in any part of all the geographical coverage, the map of Nigeria of today. There is no land until 1793 when they showed up and they started the war in Gobri. They started the war that finally gave them the land that they won, and which some people believe that Hausa people, who are the indigenous people of the most parts occupied by the Fulanis in northern Nigeria today, after the war of Uthman Danfodio, there was no land, there was nowhere, there was not even a single tribe anywhere called Fulani land in any part of today's map of Nigeria. But today, they are in charge, according to whatever they want us to believe. They control everything, they can do and undo. And today, we have Maiyegun telling our own governors, telling our own obas, telling our own political leaders, opinion leaders, religious leaders, telling our own youth that have you not heard that every land in Nigeria belongs to the Fulani. Even some Fulani themselves are now coming out to say that's like going too far. Well, it is power. They did it in Ilorin. And today, an average Ilorin man or woman, son or daughter, is having that identity crisis. They don't know if they should call themselves Fulani Northerners or North Centrals, or to call themselves Yorubas or not. You know what I mean? And here we are. Where is next to Ilorin? You have Ogbomoso, you have Ibarapa, you have Okeogun. And once the advancement comes down, maybe our own children will grow up trying to be in this identity crisis too. Because the Fulanis will tell them too that every land in this area belongs to them. Now, not a single, well, many are currently standing up, so don't let me use a blanket statement. Ilorin, Kwara, Ilorin, Ile Yoruba. They are now battling with if they should be called Fulani or not. Even Bukola Saraki is claiming to be a Fulani man and a Yoruba man. So identity crisis. Seyi Makinde, for some reason, seems to have shot himself on the foot. And I don't know how he's going to regulate. I mean, how he's going to get out of it. How he's going to wriggle out of it. No matter what security promised by Buhari, whatever security promised by the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, they say it is the same mission. And our people are being killed for it. Seyi Makinde and his other Yoruba governors 2 days ago said they are not sending Fulani away from the forest anymore. Meanwhile, what the Yorubas are asking is that, yes, there are legit, everyone is legit until you begin to misbehave and people will say, where are you from? I believe that once once you do everything legally in your own, community, wherever you choose to live, wherever you come from, everywhere you live, wherever you live should be your own. And the community you build around that should reflect on who you are and the kind of people that live there, which means that it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are. If you want to live peacefully with those you are meeting where you are, then you will need to respect them for them to respect you. So those who are doing their legitimate businesses in Yoruba land, those who are selling cows, those who are bringing their cows to Yoruba land, selling them to our Yoruba brothers and sisters, and everybody who is buying from them in Yoruba, that is called trade. Do that, pay tax, do all of that. That's legit. That is traceable. That's kind of trade that has identity. We can say, I bought this cow from Umoru. I bought this cow from Ibrahim. Oh, I bought this you know what I mean? But what do you say to those who are staying in the forest and they are claiming to be others too, carrying guns and attacking, raping our women? And that is not even the only problem of insecurity we have. And that's why I'm actually going to add that to my conversation tonight. But before I continue, I'm going to take you to Abuja. Seyi Makinde finally came out and he said they were going to send 200 Amotekuns to Okeogun, Ibarapa, all the local government areas there, to go and flush out all the criminals in the forest. He is so scared to call them Fulani terrorists. They said they have arrested 56 of them, and they're going to prosecute them. But he's so scared to tell us their identity, to give us their names, so that they won't say, oh, they are Fulanis and all of that. He's meant to be talking for Yoruba. So finally, he said they were going to do a lot to protect the Okeogun Ibarapa area from the terrorists kidnapping the people. That's good news. That is what the government should do. Not telling those who are tired, after they were tired of waiting for government, they now took action instead of condemning them and threatening them and calling them criminals like you did to burn down Sunday Igboho's house, right? That's what a government should do. You don't point fingers or gaslight people who are tired of your political games.